Here's my review on the movie Honeymoon Crashers. I feel that there was a lot of powerful mother wound medicine. And so, depending on what type of environment you grew up in, this dynamic in the movie is a mother and a son. And the son gets left at the altar, and he has a honeymoon planned, and his mother decides to go with him. And so during the movie, the son is very agitated with his mother because he feels like she doesn't see him. But it's quite the opposite. He doesn't see her. And so, there's a dynamic there where the fear of being seen is present because the son can't see himself and the mother doesn't feel seen. And so what happens is, over time in the process of the movie, he starts to see her and he starts to speak about what he sees. And because he is able to see her and heal that dynamic of pain between them, then he also starts to find himself. And so if you had an experience in childhood where the love that you were given, nobody's fault, right? Because everybody's having their own experience at that time. Your parents were doing the best they could with what they had at that time and from their experiences, right? And so then they poured into you based on what they knew and what was given to them, right? And this goes back to even generational curses. And so if you now are in a relationship with women, because this is a man and a woman in the dynamic, and this can go, into many different fields, and you're having a hard time receiving that love, and you're having a hard time appreciating what is in front of you. The same thing was happening in the movie. She did everything, and he couldn't see her or feel her. And so both of them didn't feel seen by each other. And so he realized that his dad, he had become, the fiance that left him at the altar told him that he was boring, right? He was fearful. And so his fear, because of the underlying dynamic of not being seen by a parent, kept him bound. And so then the father, with his own dialogue, after he started seeing his mother, he was able to express to his father that he too was boring and that he too was taking her for granted. And then he was able to tell the father that in a clear, direct, passionate way from his new understanding of what he also had been doing. So then the father was able to hear him, feel him, and understand that there was truth there. And so because of that truth, that father came and showed the mother, the wife, the love that she deserved, and so did the son. And because the son was able to now appreciate and respect his mother at this stage in his life, not from the experience that already took place, then he was able to respect himself, and he was able to find his way back to him. And so he took more chances, and he was no longer fearful, and he was in receptive mode because he was now able to accept what took place and change it by showing love and appreciation. And so hopefully whoever this message needs to find, it finds. And this is just my take on the movie. If you already watched it, maybe watch it again. I believe it's called Honeymoon Crashers, and it's on Netflix. I hope you can receive and hear and understand that even if something happened to you in childhood that created a fear around love because your parent at that time and space was giving you what they knew, you're not there anymore. But if that fear is still lingering in your body because you haven't been able to transmute it or understand it or sit with it, then there is still time to do so. There is still time to forgive, right? And depending on what took place, that's up to you, right? Only you know what happened, what's forgivable, what's not forgivable. Only you can see the way you want to see. And so if you can see that every single person in life wants the same thing, love and acceptance, right? And so if you can see that your parents were just doing the best they could at that time from what they were brought into or they were taught, and so maybe what they taught was fear-based love as well, and so maybe that's why your blockage is the same. It's generational, it's vibrational, and it can be changed. It's your bravery that changes it. It's your willingness to say, I'm going to change those things that I didn't like. Those things that happened to me, I'm going to change because I want to create differently. I don't want to leave my children with the same things I had, and I don't want them to feel the same way I felt, and I don't want it to keep showing up in all my relationships. And so I'm going to look at it, understand it, so I can free myself from these spaces and places that no longer exist, but I'm still holding on to in my body. And so if you need help navigating, reach out. If you want to watch that movie, or you already have, and maybe this is hitting you, maybe watch it again with a different viewing, a different perception. All things are speaking. And we all have the power to see and feel and know when we're ready and willing. I love you. Have a blessed day.